The word convocation means literally a calling together. You've been called together in this room today at the start of your Pitzer education. And we look forward to calling you together again in this very room at 9:30 a.m. on Saturday, May the 16th, 2020, when you will be dressed in your Pitzer white gowns and ready to process out to your graduation. The faculty members here today and others who are not present will be your teachers, mentors, and research partners over the next 4 years, and in all likelihood, long beyond that. You will hear from some of us now about our high expectations for you as scholars, activists, and citizens, both on campus and off. And it's now my great honor and pleasure to welcome our first speaker, Dr. Melvin L. Oliver, the 6th president of Pitzer College.
Thank you, Dean Boyle, and good afternoon to the class of 2020, the most talented and engaging entering class of students in Pitzer College history. You and I are beginning our first year at Pitzer together. You come to Pitzer from diverse backgrounds, racially, socioeconomically, geographically, and internationally. Your academic interests range from the arts and humanities to the social sciences and the biological and mathematical sciences. As I thought about addressing you today, I inevitably started thinking about my first year of college. It was only a few years ago. How many, I won't tell you. I can still feel the chill of excitement, the fear of the unknown, the exhilaration of meeting new and diverse people, and the responsibilities that my family and community held for me. Those were the feelings of a new beginning, feelings that stay with me and will stay with you your whole life. For many of you, your experience of college is new, as was mine, as was Dean Boyle's and Vice President Carlisle's. I was the first member of my family to graduate from high school. That was a major achievement in my family where neither my mother nor father went beyond the 9th grade. Some of you are like us, the first in your family to attend college. I want to salute you, first-generation students, for your accomplishment and commit to your success for the 4 years that you're here with us. For others, you follow in your family's footsteps. Several of you are second-generation Pitzer students. No matter what your background, though, we chose you all to be part of Pitzer College. You all belong here. And for all of you, college presents the same set of opportunities, the opportunities to grow socially, emotionally, civically, and academically. The opportunity to go through an amazing transformation that takes you through what Mark William Roach calls the articulation of a higher purpose, the discernment of contemporary problems, the awareness of our own capacities, and the integration of these realms, leading to you grappling with seminal questions like, what is of greatest value? What are the most pressing challenges of our ages? And what ought I to do with my life? But to take advantage of all that you have before you, you must understand what I call the currency of the college. Yes, the college is its own social system. It's true. And what makes Pitzer distinctive, I want to suggest, is that to access its value, you must use a currency that all of us have in abundance, but which I guarantee you, not all of you will spend as freely as you could over the next 4 years. That currency is intellectual curiosity. Intellectual curiosity is the currency of the academic realm, especially of the liberal arts. It is what helps you gain the most out of your professors, your classes, and your fellow students. It is not a scarce commodity, yet many students are reluctant to use it. In an environment with as many opportunities as ours, intellectual curiosity opens the treasures that await you. Asking about your grades and office hours will generate a short and abrupt answer. Asking a substantive question about the course's subject, whether it is biology, math, sociology, or English, will bring forth the riches that your professors have to share. Asking your professor about their scholarly interest or their current research will produce a tidal wave of information, of engaged storytelling, of good advice, of goodwill toward you, not as a student, but as a fellow learner, a colleague in pursuit of knowledge. So to get the most out of your 4 years, remember that we all have the right currency to purchase it. Don't be stingy with your intellectual curiosity. Be an extravagant spender. Spend all the intellectual curiosity that you can muster in your 4 years here. Doing so will enrich your experience and guarantee that you get so much more out of it. At Pitzer, there's an opportunity to take advantage of an intellectual community committed to a set of core values that makes Pitzer unique among small liberal arts colleges. Those values, by now ingrained in your memory: social responsibility, intercultural understanding, interdisciplinary learning, student engagement, environmental sustainability, are expressions of our community's commitment to producing engaged, socially responsible citizens of the world through an academically rigorous, interdisciplinary liberal arts education, emphasizing social justice, intercultural understanding, and environmental sensitivity. The wisdom of our founders also expected you to practice being engaged. By your joint participation in our community of shared governance, you as a student have a right and a responsibility to be a part of the institution's self-governance. These values will be part of your courses, your campus life, your community engagement, and your international experiences. Embrace your opportunities here. Take courses that expand your horizons, that help you confront uncomfortable truths, that sensitize you to worlds and people you are unfamiliar with, that challenge your understanding of the physical and natural world, that give you the skills of logical thinking and systematic research, that develops your ability to connect to the human experience through art, history, philosophy, and languages, and that enable you to read and think critically and creatively, to reason and to ask and answer the deep and penetrating questions. Pitzer is oriented to exploring and understanding the injustices encased in some of the critical antinomies of modern life: poverty and wealth, men and women, able and disabled, black and white, indigenous and colonizer, immigrant and native, human sexuality, to only state a few. You will explore these questions through interdisciplinary lenses that will uncover the multiple understandings and dimensions of these complex issues. There is no discipline with a monopoly of understanding of these complexities. A truly interdisciplinary approach is necessary to peel away the layers of complexity involved and to weave new understandings together. A key dimension of your Pitzer education will be your ability to transcend the biases of your lived experience and preconceived notions and incorporate the perspectives and worldview of other cultures. Pitzer students are able to use both insider and outsider knowledge to navigate whatever issue they choose to explore. As the world becomes increasingly globally interconnected, this ability to not only understand our own culture, but to create intercultural understanding will be one of your greatest assets for success in the future. Students not only learn in the classroom, but in engagement with various communities, from local governance at Pitzer to the structured community engagement programs that go into prisons, local communities, and institutions to enable students to learn with and be taught by those closest to the problems. Pitzer students become learning partners with others to address problems of racism, gender violence, the criminal justice system, environmental justice, and other issues. We learn the humility that comes from working with and learning from those whose lives are most affected by social and economic inequality, racism, and sexism, to name only a few dimensions of oppression. Our focus on environmental sustainability is a commitment expressed in our campus architecture and grounds, our interconnected environmental academic focus, and our institutional practices. We are proud to have been one of the first colleges in the nation to divest our endowment from fossil fuel investments. As students here, you will be active participants in the daily life of our campus, ensuring that you leave the environment and the world stronger than how you found it. As our mission notes, students interested in environmental issues will find Pitzer an exciting living and learning laboratory. And you will have the added benefit of the opening of the Robert Redford Conservancy for Southern California as a site for investigation, dialogue, and debate. As members of our community, we expect all our students to adhere to our community values. In an environment of polarized politics and thinking, it is crucial that we promote ethical practices in a diverse community built upon trust. Pitzer College aspires to be a shared learning environment where every member is valued, respected, and entitled to dignity and honor. Each and every member of our community has a responsibility to respect diverse viewpoints and life experiences, to engage in thoughtful dialogue that increase understanding and awareness, and deal with differences without intimidation and the intent to harm. As an institution of higher learning, we are committed to inquiry and learning. We respect pluralism and freedom of expression, which we know requires effort and constancy in pursuit of academic excellence. During this summer, our institution faced an instance where we have been tested to act on the values that we practice. In my first official message to the community, I made clear that exclusion on the basis of race was not consistent with the mission and values of Pitzer College. What was not sufficiently appreciated was that the dialogue and inquiry raised by this conversation was indeed legitimate and important, related to both scholarly interrogations and dimensions of social and racial justice. Such a topic should be addressed and debated through thoughtful presentations of data and perspectives. Pitzer College stands as a beacon for just those kinds of difficult conversations. There are forces today that take inappropriate openings in our conversations to create what I call ugly caricatures and participate in what I call electronic muggings of the participants. And several of the students involved in this controversy have been unfairly targeted and received these vicious messages. They do not deserve it, and we stand with them to resist such incivility and hurt. As I noted in my message to the community, social media can be a challenging place to address these difficult and potentially divisive issues. Let's be smart about how and where we address issues so that they do not become a cudgel used to discredit legitimate inquiry and divert our individual and institutional attention and energies. Now, you have the opportunity here at Pitzer to develop the most valuable thing you will take away from this journey, the ability to walk upright and see clearly, to see not only for yourself and by yourself, but also to see by, through, and with the eyes of others. In the African-American novelist Toni Cady Bambara's words, to see what the factory worker sees, what the prisoner sees, what the welfare child sees, what the scholar sees, what the ruling class myth makers see as well. Seeing from different points of view is vital in a society that increasingly tries to tell us that there can only be one way to see and only one way to be, that there is only one kind of patriotism, one kind of family, one kind of religion, one kind of sexuality, and one kind of politics. Your teachers will struggle to give you this ability to see. We want you to be lifelong learners, critical thinkers, and creative problem solvers, to be individuals who can think by yourselves and for yourselves, long after you have left the classroom and your teachers behind. But you also need the resolve to see, the courage to see, the determination to see. In her brilliant and inspiring and transformative book, Feminine Endings, the feminist musicologist Susan McClary allegorizes her own quest to ask and answer serious questions by relating the story of Bluebeard as told by Bela Bartok in his 1911 opera, Bluebeard's Castle. The story concerns a young bride given the key to 6 of the 7 rooms in her husband's castle, but forbidden from unlocking the door to the room that remains. Each chamber exposes the young woman to a presentation of her husband as he wishes to be seen. Except for some disquieting clues, the rooms reveal her husband's wealth, taste, political power, and personal strength. Opening the 7th door, however, breaks the illusion and exposes the bride to horrible truths hidden behind it. McClary argues that the story offers a parable for feminist scholars, that the versions of reality bequeathed to us by patriarchy have been inaccurate and misleading, that we need to open the 7th door to see the truth behind the facade, no matter how horrible it might be. You need to use your intellectual curiosity to open that 7th door. Face up to the challenges that your world will present to you and to stand upright as a citizen of a global society. That is your challenge. Pitzer is here to partner with you to meet that challenge. I know you will. My best wishes to you for a great 4 years, and by the way, have a little fun while you're at it. Thank you.
Thank you, President Oliver. While I'm here, I would also like to recognize the other half of Team Oliver. Suzanne Oliver is over here to my left. Please. I want to begin my remarks by focusing on the relationship that is going to develop between you out there in the audience, dressed appropriately for the weather, and those of us down the front dressed in these weird, weather-inappropriate togs. At Pitzer, you have the opportunity to co-create your own education. This starts with the rich array of courses and majors available to you. Far more, in fact, than you would otherwise expect at a college with 90 or so professors. You have courses available to you by hundreds of professors across the Claremont colleges. Here in Claremont, taking courses, doing majors at the other colleges is not just a theoretical possibility, it's likely to be a centrally important part of your educational experience. Pitzer students take about 60% of their courses in that part of Pitzer College on this side of Mills Avenue, the east side of Mills Avenue. I would like to remind all of you, sometimes I need to remind some of my colleagues here, that Pitzer College extends across the other side of Mills Avenue, the west side of Mills Avenue, to the Keck Science Department, which is an integral part of Pitzer College. And over 10% of courses taken by Pitzer students are at the Keck Science Department. About 30% of courses taken by Pitzer students are at the other colleges. And for some of you, that's going to be a lot more. Some of you may major in music or theater at Pomona or Scripps. Last year, 194 Pitzer students registered for computer science classes, mostly at Harvey Mudd College. Some of you will take Arabic or constitutional law over at CMC. And you'll all enjoy the benefits of the intercollegiate departments and programs, wherever those courses happen to be taught. So the options are myriad. You'll also have the liberty to explore your own particular interests, perhaps through independent studies or combining different fields, different disciplines. Self-designed majors always rank as one of the largest majors at graduation, right up there with psychology and biology. Self-designed majors involve all sorts of weird and wonderful themes. I myself oversaw the first soccer major in US higher education. Community development through soccer, to be precise. But if you have the passion and you can find 2 consenting Pitzer faculty members, then away you go. You need 32 courses to graduate from Pitzer. But a Pitzer education is much more than 32 episodes where you meet with a professor for 3 hours a week for 15 weeks. What binds the educational experience together is mentorship. Your faculty mentors will guide you not just through selecting courses, but also through moments of crisis, planning for study abroad, and thinking about post-graduation opportunities, work, fellowships, professional studies, further study. And we're doubling down on mentorship at Pitzer. As you all now know, your first-year seminar instructor is also your academic advisor and will be for your first 2 years here until the baton is safely exchanged with the person or persons who will be your major advisors. Mentorship really matters here. The faculty are concerned not just with your intellectual development, the cognitive, what you know and what you learn, but also with the affective side, the visceral, your psychosocial development, to use the jargon term. How you find meaning and purpose in what you study and what you involve yourself in. Acing tests is great, and I wish you all well in acing those tests, and crafting research papers. But some of the most profound experiences you will have here may be your study abroad experience, the student group you participate in, the internship you do, or the tutoring that you do. These may be the transformational parts of your education. And these experiences can happen early. They can start happening in your first year. So among the things, I hope to see many of you participating in May and June in our new study abroad programs in Vietnam and Brazil at the end of your first year. So as an individual student, you have a great deal of autonomy, of power to shape your own education. But your key guide, advisor, and advocate in this exercise of autonomous co-creation of your degree is your advisor, your academic advisor, your first-year seminar instructor. That relationship starts this week, and I urge you to nurture it very, very carefully. In addition to students having autonomy and power as individuals to craft their education, at Pitzer, students collectively have the ability to exercise power and influence across the institution. At most colleges and universities in the US, students are consulted about various things, with actual power lying somewhere between the Board of Trustees and the faculty in what's usually referred to as shared governance. But as a student-faculty group that worked on this here last year articulated, here at Pitzer, we have a system of community governance in which students are not just consulted, but also share power. Students sit as full voting members on every committee within the college. I think Pitzer is the only college in the country in which students sit as full voting members of the Appointment, Promotion, and Tenure Committee, which may not sound terribly exciting to you, but everybody on this stage wearing a gown was appointed by an APT committee with students voting for that appointment. If they were tenured or promoted, students voted on those decisions. They voted on the decision to appoint me as dean, for better or worse. I don't say these decisions are good, I just say that students are playing a role in them. Students serve on the most powerful committee in the college, the Faculty Executive Committee, which is, again, a bit of a misnomer because not only are students on this committee, but also the president serves on this committee. And that's the committee that has authority over policy matters within the college. So get involved. Get involved with Senate, get involved with student organizations, and with Pitzer's system of community governance, and help co-create Pitzer's larger academic mission, as well as your own education. Now, you're entering Pitzer this semester at a very auspicious moment. As President Oliver has already told you, he's a member of your class. He's a member of the entering class of 2016. This is the start of the Oliver era, and many of us here are very excited about the Oliver era. And one reason many of us are excited is that Melvin Oliver's scholarly career has been focused on interrogating racial and social inequality. Many of you are going to get a chance to read his book, Black Wealth, White Wealth, this semester. In fact, I know there's a number of people that I'll talk a reference a little later on who've already been reading it. This is a seminal work in sociology, and it's a great fit with Pitzer's academic mission. President Oliver's arrival coincides with Pitzer rolling out its new 4-course requirement addressing social justice and intercultural understanding. You will be the first class held to these new requirements. In a world riven by social injustice and intercultural misunderstanding, you will be asked to carefully study, debate, and dialogue about theories of social justice. You will also be asked to engage. Engagement is a key term here at Pitzer. To undertake a course addressing social responsibility praxis. So as we welcome you to Claremont and as we welcome you to Pitzer College, and we're very concerned that you feel comfortable and at home on campus and here in the consortium, I nonetheless want to urge you to get outside the Pitzer and Claremont bubble, to experience and understand your new local, the communities in this area. What is this new local I am welcoming you to? And I realize some of you are from the region. I think a couple of you are actually from Claremont. But even you, I'll wager, have not fully experienced the different communities that are in this particular region. In Ireland, we say Céad Míle Fáilte, 100,000 welcomes. You'll be very relieved to hear that I'm just going to give you 4 welcomes to the local region here. First, welcome to land occupied by the Tongva for centuries. I hope you've seen the California, so the inverted California signs on campus, part of the Native Hosts installation. This is an installation by a famous Native American artist, Edgar Hooper Birds, on whom our own Bill Ampes has written a wonderful book. The Tongva community are not just part of the history here, they're still in the region. Through many classes, through the Redford Conservancy, you're going to get a chance to involve yourselves with the Tongva community. And in fact, I'm not sure if Julia is in the audience, but we have a Tongva student in the entering class this year. My second welcome to Prison Valley, as many know it. This is a welcome that might surprise international students, but perhaps not. There are as many, if you look at this sub-region here, Laverne, the Pomona Valley, out towards Riverside, Norco direction, there are more people in carceral institutions, prisons, jails, youth detention camps, than there are in institutions of higher education. You can go 10 minutes down Mills Avenue to the California Institution for Men. There are more people incarcerated in that prison than there are in all of the Claremont colleges combined. God bless America. Speaking of America, welcome to the 27th Congressional District. And as I mention electoral politics, I feel a glare coming from one of my colleagues here dressed in scarlet, Professor Judy Grabner, who's already been emailing you about the importance of registering to vote. This is Professor Grabner retired as professor of mathematics last year, but has waged a long campaign to get as many Pitzer students as possible to register to vote. I'll add as a political scientist that if you are already registered to vote in Florida or Colorado or Virginia, or you may want to leave your registration there, vote absentee. Your vote will matter a lot more this fall than it will here in California. But whether through Professor Grabner or through the Dean of Faculty's office, you can find forms to register to vote, those of you that are US citizens. And you'll be voting in the 27th Congressional District. This is a district which stretches from this area here around Claremont all the way across the eastern part of Los Angeles County to San Gabriel and Rosemead. It's an Asian American plurality district. Asian American voters make up about 38–39% of the voters in this district. A high proportion of the population, but about that proportion of the votes. It's about 28% Latino, about 27% white, about 6% African American. That makes it the second most densely concentrated Asian American congressional district in the continental United States. Hawaii is a different matter, but within the United States. And again, that's a part of your new local that I encourage you to get to know. Fourth, welcome to the Inland Empire. This region, Pomona Valley, stretching out to San Bernardino, to Riverside, a region undergoing a dramatic demographic and economic transformation with a new Latino majority in an economy organized around one of the great arteries of world trade, the Greater Ontario Transportation and Logistics Hub, through which exports from Asia coming through the port of Los Angeles and Long Beach are shipped out to the rest of North America. So these are parts of the new local that you have now entered into. And at some point, you will have the opportunity to become involved with community organizations in this local area. Not service, but becoming involved, engaged. You might not be able to do it this semester, but again, please heed my admonition here and try and get outside the Claremont bubble whenever you can. In a wide variety of courses, you will have the opportunity to focus on intercultural understanding at a global level. A lot of courses will do that, but you'll also have opportunities to participate in academic events and talks outside of regular classes. We've got a great example for you this semester. Professor Ahmed Alwishar has an incredible speaker series this semester on Islam beyond ideological perspectives. And this includes everything from a recent Nobel Peace Prize winner on campus speaking through to some amazing video conferencing with students at Habib University in Karachi, Pakistan. But a fantastic series that you can participate in this semester. And as we grapple with the politics of racial justice, Black Lives Matter, and other social movements, you will be expected to take a course focused on intercultural understanding at a local level, perhaps an ethnic studies course at one of the intercollegiate departments, courses that allow the deliberation, dialogue, and critical thinking about race in America. As President Oliver has noted, intercultural understanding, the intercultural understanding requirement here at Pitzer obliges us to address difficult issues of racism, diversity, community discourse, and national and international political conflict. So Pitzer invites you to wrestle with the big issues, global issues, local issues, and campus issues. But it does so in a Pitzer way, by cultivating relationships between faculty mentors and students, and by inviting students to co-create their education and the institution itself. As we as an institution have wrestled with what social justice and intercultural understanding mean in our curriculum and on our campus, we have sought to make this a dialogue between students and faculty. And so it is with the implementation of the new social justice and intercultural understanding requirements. And at this point, I would like to recognize the Eyeglass Fellows in the room. If you're one of the Eyeglass Fellows, can you please stand up for a couple of minutes, please? These are... These are 21 students, sophomores, juniors, I think there's a couple of seniors as well, who will be serving as a key resource for all of the first-year seminars. Working with Eyeglass Director, Professor Roberta Espinoza, these students will be holding sessions with all of the new students and creating spaces for conversations about diversity in all its aspects at Pitzer and in your class, in the entering class of 2016, including as it relates to students of color, to first-generation students, to international students, to non-traditional age students, to student athletes, to Tongva students, to students who are military veterans, to undocumented students, to formerly incarcerated students, to students with physical or learning disabilities, to LGBTQ students, to pre-med students, to Muslim, Jewish, evangelical Christian, and atheist students, and to students who've been victims of sexual violence. Your class, your entering class, includes students in each of those categories. And of course, many of you belong to many of those categories. And all of you belong to many more categories that I've not mentioned there. The Eyeglass Fellows, your first-year seminar faculty, the faculty and staff of the college can all serve as respectful, thoughtful interlocutors as we all wrestle with social injustice and intercultural understanding. So that's my welcome to you to Pitzer's academic program. It's going to be challenging, and to new students, perhaps this sounds like a bit daunting at this point. But we've got 3 years and 256 days to work on it. And when we reassemble here, again, that's 9:30, Saturday, May 16th, 2020. I'm sure you will all have some great stories to tell about the journey. Thank you. And having said that the student voice matters at Pitzer, it matters here at Convocation too. So I'm pleased to welcome the next speaker, Josue Pasillas. Josue is a senior with a self-design major in urban studies, and he's currently serving as the president of Pitzer's Student Senate. Josue.
Wow. Hello, everyone. I am Josue Pasillas, the student body president here at Pitzer College. And for the 100th time, welcome to Pitzer College. Congratulations on starting this incredible and rewarding journey. I am very excited to welcome you to this community that I consider my second home, and I hope you consider your second home pretty soon. Welcome to an environment of support and success. Welcome to the beginning of the next stage of your lives, where you will form friendships that will last a lifetime. This college experience here at Pitzer will be one in which you will be challenged, but one also where you will grow and learn. Push yourself to achieve academically, but also do some exploring. Step outside your comfort zone while you're here. Try something new, something that you haven't thought about doing before. Have fun and be as involved as you can be, because the people who are most involved have the best Snapchats, for sure. Real talk though, with $250,000, the Pitzer College Student Senate funds over 50 organizations on campus. And so for sure, you will find something that you are passionate about. For example, you can help our staff's children with their homework through Tutors for a Cause, or you can bake some bread with the Art of Bread Club, or just take a free trip to Yosemite National Park with Pitzer Outdoor Adventures. And if you still need more friends, you can go bowling with the Bowling and Making Friends Club. There's something out there for you, I promise. But I also have to put a plug in for the Student Senate as an organization you should consider joining. Here at Pitzer, we have a unique governance system where students serve on every committee, like Dean of Faculty said. And as the largest student government per capita in the country, students here have an integral part of making change on campus. From bringing gender-neutral restrooms to our buildings, selecting the first African-American president of a Claremont college, recognizing Indigenous Peoples Days, banning plastic water bottles, our Student Senate has been part of making all this happen. We're doing great things. I don't know why Fox News hates us. But I do invite you to look at the positions available on our Student Senate and be involved, and let's make some change at Pitzer. No other college can equal Pitzer when it comes to our students, our faculty, staff, and administrators. Whether it's the commitment to your success held by our faculty, the smiles and advice offered by our staff, and the support from our administration, you have a home here at Pitzer. But your time here at Pitzer College will feel like forever and also go by in the blink of an eye. The forever part will probably happen in that morning lecture class that you forgot to drink coffee for, but you'll also get through that. So make the most of your time here and start changing the world today. So once again, on behalf of the student body, welcome to our family. Welcome to Pitzer College.
Thanks, Josue. I'd now like to invite Brian Carlisle, the Vice President for Student Affairs, to the podium to discuss the co-curricular side, the student affairs side of the experience here at Pitzer College. Brian Carlisle.
Well, thank you. My staff sometimes make fun of me because I begin all my meetings with them with a short message of inspiration. It provides us an opportunity to shed any negativity that we may have encountered before we move into our meeting, and allows us an opportunity to recenter our minds and our spirits. So before I begin my comments, I'm going to share with you a message given to me by my dear friend Cassandra Manuelito Kirkfollett. Cassandra was the first Native American college president outside the tribal system. The poem she wrote and shared with me is entitled Peace Within. Today, may there be peace within. May you trust that you are exactly where you are meant to be. May you not forget the infinite possibilities that are born of faith in yourself and others. May you use the gifts that you receive at Pitzer College and pass them on to others all that you have been given. May you be content with yourself just the way you are. Let this knowledge settle into your bones and allow your soul the freedom to sing, praise, dance, and lead. It is there for you, each and every one of you, every day and always. Now it is finished in beauty. So by now you've heard dozens and dozens of times about our core values. You've read about them, and you understand our mission. You know that we produce engaged, socially responsible citizens of the world using academically rigorous courses through interdisciplinary liberal arts education, emphasizing our social justice, intercultural understanding, and environmental sensitivity. Soon, you will begin to understand and experience how we turn the words of our mission statement and core values into practice. You'll be confronted with complex issues of institutionalized racism and privilege, the injustices of our nation's justice system, politics and its relationship with hate, sexism, homophobia, and much, much more. You'll dive deep into conversations that make you angry, confused, and certainly uncomfortable. Education, after all, is not meant to be comfortable. Some of your conversations will test the limits of your capacity to remain civil. You will feel the warmth of the blood rising through your neck into your face, and your friends and colleagues will notice the change in the color of your cheeks and witness your eyes becoming wider and wider. Yet through it all, you will be reminded of your commitment to come together, to live and work in a shared learning environment where every member is valued and respected. Though your level of comfort and capacity to remain courteous may reach their limits, you will simultaneously be challenged to adhere to the aspirations and ideals of our community values, the ones you have heard many times: dialogue, diversity, inquiry, and action. As noted in our mission and values, while at Pitzer, you will learn from the rich and complex histories, viewpoints, and life experiences in our community. You will value and celebrate the synergy created between our differences and similarities, and you will support the thoughtful exchange of ideas to increase understanding and awareness. You have the right to be heard and the responsibility to listen. Communication, even at its most vigorous, should be respectful and without the intent to harm. A colleague of mine once told me that education is the source of opportunity and social change. And as a poor queer kid growing up in a trailer park in a small town of the southern part of the state of Alabama, I truly thought education was unattainable for me. But I was wrong. It was meant to be for me. You were meant for Pitzer, and you were meant to be here with each other, for each other, during this educational and life journey. I'm certain you've been given lots of advice by now from your parents, family members, friends, I'm sure some of your faculty advisors and other administrators. So I won't go through a long list of recommendations that you should follow during your college years. I'll provide you with just one. My advice to you is to find your comfort zone at Pitzer and then abandon it. For it is when we are most uncomfortable that the greatest growth happens. In Mayan tradition, there's a greeting used as a way to show honor for each other. It's often referred to as the law of Enlakek, which means I am you and you are me. It is a statement of unity and oneness. The Mayans believe that all people are part of the same universal vibration. Their definition of human being, Hunklil, literally translates vibrant being. Enlakek illustrates the Mayan belief that all people are deeply interconnected. Today, we will begin our journey by sharing Enlakek with each other and give you an exercise in feeling uncomfortable. I'm going to ask now for all entering students to silently and respectfully stand. Turn to face someone behind you, in front of you, to your left or to your right, and if you're capable, look at them in the eyes. I will ask you now to repeat after me. You are my other me. If I do harm to you, I do harm to myself. If I love and respect you, I love and respect myself. Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you, Brian. I would now like to invite President Oliver and Professor Alicia Bonaparte, who's the chair of the Faculty Executive Committee, to come forward to formally induct the 216 entering class into Pitzer College.
Hello. Will all new entering students please rise? President Oliver, it is my honor to present to you on behalf of the faculty, Pitzer College's newest class of entering students.
Thank you, Professor Bonaparte. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and administration of Pitzer College, I welcome you to our college community and call upon you to fulfill your responsibilities as scholars, leaders, activists, and citizens in this academic community. In turn, I offer you the college's full support of your academic and personal growth. Our hearty congratulations to each and every one of you.
Okay, let's get this party started. Please stay where you're standing right now as the faculty process out on both sides. Quickly, before you do that, I would like to do a quick shout out, thanks to Facilities and AV, and in particular to Evie Casanova for organizing today's event. Thanks very much to those. And once the faculty process outside, I invite all the students to go outside and join the returning students at Pitzer College for a celebratory picnic outside. Steve.